Aquarius, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Aquarius, please. Sorry, that's too many that fell out. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Aquarius, please. All right, so your energy is the Page of Cups in reverse, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Your person is showing up as the Five of Swords in reverse. They're viewing you as the Queen of Cups, more Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What we're not seeing is the Death card. Okay, Scorpio energy. And we have the Knight of Wands, okay, which to me is a very happy, very celebratory energy. And we see the Knight of Swords coming through. So Aquarius, I feel like you want to talk. I feel like you're seeing clearly about what you want, what you need. I feel like you're in alignment. And some of you are on your way out of this connection, or maybe you've left this connection behind. And with the Page of Cups in reverse, it feels like there's a reason for that. That you're not trusting something here. You're not trusting this person's true feelings. You're not trusting who they are, what they want. The Four of Wands in reverse, you may be feeling like there's instability here. There's too much distance to keep this connection going, whether that's spatial or emotional distance. Or maybe you just feel like this connection is just too unstable. So you're either on your way out or you're thinking about, moving off in a different direction. But I also feel like you want clarity and you want to talk to this person. You want more information. You're viewing them as the Five of Swords in reverse. Now, the Five of Swords in reverse can be, there's, argumentative. It can be fighting, bickering, and arguing. So you might be questioning true compatibility. But I'm also seeing here that with the Five of Swords in reverse, you might feel like this person isn't making any moves towards you. Or maybe they're being a little bit lazy. You're not sure that they want to move things forward with you. All right, and you're viewing the relationship, though, as the King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, which is telling me that you're passionate about this person. Like there's a large part of you that feels like this connection is in alignment and it's something that you want and you would like to attract. You would like things to work out. You would like this to become something real. Now, your person with the Devil, Capricorn energy, could be a Capricorn. They could also be low-key obsessed with you right now, but it could also be that this person has some unhealthy or toxic habits or behaviors. And again, that might be what's keeping this connection from being stable or moving forward, or maybe what you're really questioning right now. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else we need to know here. All right, we see you have a bright future ahead. There are no limits to what you can have. Believe in your dreams and success will follow. Okay, so whatever it is that you choose to do here, Aquarius, you're going to make the right decision, all right? There are good things coming to you. Now, you can't escape your shadow self. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will continue to direct your life. Okay, so it may be time to do some shadow work. It may also be more of a message for your person here as well. All right, and don't settle. Don't accept your current circumstances as the best you'll ever have. Don't be afraid to start over, or don't be afraid to speak up is what I'm hearing. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, we see important mission. So your soul has an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within and you'll discover your mission, Aquarius. I hope I didn't call you Capricorn earlier. I feel like I did after the Devil card came through, but I do know I'm in the Aquarius reading. All right, so Spirit's saying whatever you decide, go within and really check and see what is truly in alignment with you and what is not. All right. Remember, when something feels off, it is. But I feel like this don't settle is also about get all the information. Be sure about your decision before you move off in a different direction or before you decide to heal and repair things with this person. Now, the Five of Swords in reverse tells me this person does want to heal things. All right. But I also think that they're not taking a whole lot of action. All right. And so we see the Ace of Cups in reverse. They may be throwing themselves a little bit of a pity party. They might be feeling a little bit sad or discontent. The Magician energy in reverse. They're not communicating. They're not taking action. And I think this is what's frustrating you about this person, because I kind of think they have a tendency to allow you to do all the work or not express themselves clearly, not say what they mean and mean what they say. All right, Virgo, Gemini energy there. And the Five of Cups in reverse. And it's like this person wants to heal things with you, but they're not making themselves particularly emotionally available. Again, I feel like either they're used to other people doing the work, or they don't know exactly what to say or how to come towards you. Now, that might make sense as to why they're not moving forward, but I think the big question here for my Aquarius is like, okay, well, can I work with that? Is this the type of person, that I want to be in a relationship with here? So with the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, this person feels your energy around them. They feel a very strong pull towards you. We saw that with the Devil card as well. They feel like you're really loving and nurturing and creative. I do think they have strong feelings for you. But they also see you as highly independent. Now, I love the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is, she's a really healthy energy. She's self-made. She knows she doesn't really need anyone, so she has high standards. Okay, so this person might see you as, not really being super interconnected, but much more much more independent. Okay, this person's seeing you now in the Four of Swords. So you're holding back. You're not really taking action. And I kind of feel like some of my Aquarius, because I think you kind of got sick of being the one that was doing all the emotional labor, or always trying to make this work, or always coming in with the apology, or always trying to feeling like you were, pulling teeth to understand where they were, to take the temperature of the connection, how they were feeling. And I think you've gotten to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on me. And this person is seeing that. And the Page of Wands in reverse. They may feel like you made an impulsive decision to pull back your energy or to disappear. But they also feel like they're not sure if you're going to take a risk or leap of faith towards them, or that maybe your attraction has died for this person. All right. Now they're feeling the Devil and now the Hierophant. They feel the spiritual connection with you. This person wants union, but I also feel like they're not giving enough to the connection. I feel like they're in too much of a passive role for my Aquarius to, still feel that spark, or, whether you've lost attraction for them or not, it more so it just feels like you're exhausted, or you're tired of being feeling kind of alone in this connection. All right, especially when any sort of difficulty or conflict arises. Okay, so let's see what we need to know about them. So we see the hero and the heroine. They have a journey for a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Okay, so they do feel like even if you do come from vastly different backgrounds here, that you both are moving towards the same thing, or you both really want the same things. All right, now I do kind of feel with the Scorpio, the Death card in the hidden position, that even though this person hasn't really been proactive in the relationship, or they haven't really been the one to come in to heal and repair and, tell you how they're feeling. I feel like behind the scenes, this has actually triggered a transformation, or, a personal empowerment journey here. We see that this person is a really good person. So helping those in need with no expectation of return. So, I feel like my Aquarius, you do see that this person is a good person. What you're probably not seeing is the impact that you pulling back or you moving away has caused. And I don't know that it's going to be enough for you, okay? I think you see this person's worth and value, but for some of you, you're just not so sure that, that it's the right person for you. All right, let's see how they're viewing you. They see you as a guide, so you've definitely been a spiritual lesson for this person. They see you as representing the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Okay. And they see you as the rescuer, provides strength and support to others in crisis, and acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So you're both good people, okay? You're both seeing that. But one thing I do feel that really resonates with this rescuer archetype here, Aquarius, is that this person is waiting for you to come in and rescue them or to do the heavy lifting in the relationship. And I feel like that's where you're starting to become tired or maybe a little disconnected or thinking about moving in a different direction, because either A, you need rescuing sometimes, not really, but you need somebody to lean on rather than always being the person that's leaned on. And, or you want more reciprocity. You want it to be more of an equal relationship than it currently is. So what you're not seeing here, though, is that this person is behind the scenes. I think they're starting to do some shadow work, and I think they're realizing that they need to be more proactive. They need to be on this journey of personal empowerment. They can't expect you or anybody else to always save them or to do all the emotional labor. The Nine of Wands tells me they still hold a torch for you. This might be a momentary break or how they're seeing it. The Justice card, they're making a decision here. But I'm also seeing that this person is feeling a bit imbalanced. And even if they're kind of acting cold or aloof or even kind of superficial, like everything's fine, it's not. Okay. And we see the Emperor energy. They want to step up. They want to step up, and I think they realize that they want to make it up to you. But I don't know if it's too little too late, because a lot of my Aquarius, like I said, some of you, your attraction has shifted for this person, because you started to feel exhausted, because you started to feel alone, because you started to feel like you weren't dealing with somebody who was, emotionally at your level. Now, the Knight of Wands tells me that this person is coming in passionately. There's communication, there's action. We see the Lovers card, a soulmate connection, Gemini energy, union, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles energy in reverse. So I think someone here who was holding back on you, I think they're going through a personal transformation. They're stepping up. They realize they need to make it up to you. I think they're coming in to repair a soulmate connection in order to have union. They're no longer holding back because they realize if they do, they lose you for good. All right. And yeah, Nine of Swords energy. They're losing sleep over this. They're stressing because your actions have called into question, what their own behavior. It's triggered shadow work for them. And what I do like here is, even though it feels like they haven't been proactive, this person is taking steps to make some major changes. And again, ultimately, it's going to be up to you, Aquarius, if you want to work on this connection. But the Knight of Wands, the Lovers, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse tell me that a lot of you, this may be exactly what this connection needs for you to move forward and to be in a happy situation. All right, this person's a sucker for you. They might be ignoring you right now. They're not really. I think they're actually in the process of some deep self-evaluation and sexual photos. They're very physically attracted to you. I do think that they're going to come in and they may focus a lot on the physical. So I do want you to be aware of that. Also, that there's some real heavy lifting, emotional heavy lifting that needs to be done. But I do think that there is strong physical attraction here. And I think they're worried that you're not as attracted as you once were to them. I think you will be, but I think it's like once they make you feel emotionally safe, or they show you, who they really are. All right. I'm afraid to contact you. Okay. So, yep, they're a little bit worried right now. I watch your social media, so they're definitely keeping tabs on you. And I want to tell you how I feel. And I think this is what you need from them, because I feel like they just haven't been able to articulate it or find the courage to be like really truthful and authentic with you about how they feel. So I do think you're going to be getting a very different, deeper version of this person, Aquarius. Okay. And for a lot of you, it may be exactly what you've been waiting for, you've wanted or needed here. All right, so let's see. We have balance. Yeah, one person is giving too much in this relationship, and I think we're very clear that it was you, Aquarius. But it's safe to make the move you're considering. So whatever leap of faith, if you're thinking about moving off in a different direction, like I said, it's going to be a major lesson for this person. But for others of you, if you're thinking about giving this person another chance, I do see a beautiful outcome here. And detach with love to clearly see the truth. And I think this is true for both of you. All right. And we see passion. There's still passion and attraction left in this connection. Try something you've never done before. You're doing things differently. But for me, more than anything, that Knight of Wands tells me I think you're going to have a passionate renewal here. But it's like after a really deep, raw, authentic communication with this person. Okay. So let's see what else we need to know. All right, fresh start. So you're being given the opportunity to begin again. Allow yourself to embrace this new life and open up fully to this gift that you've been given. And I think the big question is it a fresh start with this person? For a lot of you, it certainly is. But for some of you, it's going to be a fresh start in a new direction on your own, right? And Spirit saying, whatever you decide, Aquarius, honor yourself. Recognize the hard work you've put in to get where you are today. Instead of thinking how far you still have to go, remind yourself of all you've accomplished and be proud. All right, so I think these messages are quite beautiful because I do think you have somebody making a real improvement. And I think you've been a real tough karmic lesson for this person that is the catalyst for real change. Whether you want to accept them back or you want to work on this connection is going to be completely up to you. But I would absolutely love to hear in the comment section, my lovely Aquarius, how this resonates. All right, sending you love and light. Take care.